Okay, welcome back. Today we're running the castings. We'll show you how we're doing it. We'll show you the small commercial bins. We'll show you the tote bins and the green worm bin. For commercial, this is a small commercial. This is easy to handle. For the average small gardener in an apartment, the little bin.
The little home bin.
Yeah, but now for a person who has a pretty good sized garden and don't have the time and aggravation
Or the equipment to run them.
Get your green worm bin. To put it up right, you feed the top, it comes out the bottom. It's a lot less pain and effort. You know, depends on what you need.
But we're going to show you all that in this video, and he's talking about the green hungry bin. You guys, you're going to want to watch all 20 minutes because this video is amazing. So we're soaking the cardboard, soaking the peat moss, making sure everything's good and damp before we set up the new worm bins. Okay, so what my dad is doing here, you guys, is he's adding a damp, moist peat moss on the bottom of this worm bin. So how do you set up any worm bin? Cardboard, peat moss. What you're looking at here is rabbit manure and hay, and we're gonna pull that back across. So this hay is a place the worms can go and get out of their food and out of their manure. So you're basically leaving them like a mulch, because remember, red wigglers are called epigeic, and epigeic means leaf dwellers. So they never really dive deep into the earth, you guys. They're going to stay where they have leaves and straw and pine straw. So you're gonna mimic nature in your bin. And look, you guys, I have peat moss on my face. He's like, what?
I don't want to touch it. I'm gonna do it anyway though.
Oh, I'm so proud of you. Look, just grab you a handful and slide it back. So this is a mixture of leaves and things that haven't broke down the last time we ran this bin. Oh yeah, dude. Living out here, you wash your hands a lot. So there you go, you guys. Now we need to add the worms to this bin. And we need to cover it back up with some more cardboard that is damp. And voila, that is the simplest way to make a worm bin, you guys. Let's go over the materials. Cardboard, rotting hay, rabbit manure, tiny, tiny broken pieces of leaves. Also, peat moss and cardboard. You can't beat that. So simple, recycle, great way to set up a worm bin quick.
Gosh, yeah, that's the best fishing worm in the world. They live longer on a hook. See all this paper? It's partially eaten. It's gonna go right back in that other bin over there.
And this is the bin we just uncovered to start running castings, because
they're going down quick. They get out of the light.
Yeah, they get out of the light, but just pulling it off the top. But you guys see how this, okay, wait, there's an egg for starters. That is what makes, that is a worm egg right there. Look, Nathan, isn't that beautiful? All right, so you've got a lot of eggs, yeah. Got a lot of eggs in here, but you can tell, look how beautiful, how fat and healthy, that this is ready to be ran. You see all these little individual pieces like that? That's poop. Look at it.
Look at this. Look at this.
Wow. This bin's done very well.
That is some big red wigglers. Look at them.
Yeah. I'm telling you, this bin's probably been one of the best I've ever set up. They ate this entire thing down in 2.5 months.
Oh, yeah.
So they've really done well in this bin.
That many worms. Look at them.
Yeah.
That's just...
Yes, you can. Now, we will reset this bin after we run it today, Nathan, and put more worms here, but it's a good idea.
Be careful when you pull your paper. See that worm?
Yeah, it's coming out of the paper.
It's coming out of the hole in the paper. They eat that paper.
Yeah, they do. If you want to help green the planet, to save the planet for future generations, one of the most important things you can do is stop putting cardboard, paper towel rolls, paper towels, any kind of food scraps in your trash bins, you guys. Start up a red wiggler bin and keep those organic matters out of landfill. So some of the things we've used to feed them, my dad was pointing out to my son, a corn cob, potatoes. You can see this.
This is a commercial bed, right here. You can also do it with little totes.
I'll go get the tote and show it to him.
Okay. Also, the most simple, not having to harvest a feed-through bin would be your green hungry bin. That's the best you can get. They're expensive. Do it right, and it's the best system for a homeowner. It's less labor. You just put it at the top, take it out the bottom. You don't have to do all the harvesting.
And we're gonna show you all 3 types of bins in this video.
This is a paper towel holder I just happened to pull up with the shovel. It is absolutely full of worms. They get down in there and eat it.
Look, you still got one attached to it.
It does?
Yeah.
This is something else.
Look, I found your scoop for you.
Oh, okay.
That makes it a little bit easier, Daddy, so you don't come across that bottom too hard. So what he's doing, you guys, is he's scooping it into this. We're going to turn right around and run those castings through this worm casting tumbler.
Size of them rascals.
I know, they really are very healthy. Something else we found that works really well for Pawpaw Sammy is rotted horse manure. This horse manure is about 9 months old, so it's not hot anymore, but it's full of organic matter, and the worms really enjoy it. They seem to be thriving with a mixture of rabbit manure, which is a cold manure and does not need to be composted, and horse manure, which is a hot manure and does need to be composted. Mixing the 2 of them together as part of your bedding / food for your worms seems to work really well for us. All right, Pawpaw, tell everybody what you're doing here.
Well, right now, to do a quick retake, coming out of here, into here, and then we're going right over here, and going through this, and dumping it in there, like so, and then it's kind of damp, the castings are, and it'll clog your screen, so you give it this. And if you look right down in there, you see the castings coming out.
If you guys notice, this screen is smaller than this screen. And then whatever is not ready, right? The worms, the adult worms, as well as leaves and twigs and anything else that hasn't broken down fully comes out the end right here. You see the worm that just fell out? And then as you can see up there, you got all your worm castings.
Now, right now, what we're thinking about it, on this bin, let's show them the depth of it. This is how deep it is, bottom, side. How much, and actually, if you look, this is half, right here. I'm guessing 4.5 foot.
Yeah, it's about an 8-foot bed.
All right, so, and plus, well, you always keep track of your temperature. Anyway, how much can you get out of this bin with just half of it right here?
All right, now, this bed was put together really quickly and only has half the material I normally put in here. I've run 25 pounds out of it last week. I'm running 25 pounds out of it right now, and that on that end's at least 40. So this one bed was 100 pounds in 2 months. Now, I was really using it more to breed my worms back quickly because I went through a rat problem.
Oh yeah, I remember.
And most of my worms got eaten. So this was a breed back. So this is one type of bed here, guys. If you've got space in a shop or even outside, you can build this type of bed in the ground. And it tends to produce quickly. Quality, easy to run castings quickly in this type of bed because it's shallow, very much like their natural environment. It's long. The worms breed well, they eat well, but you've got to keep up on top of it by running it every 2 months and resetting it. Now, let's show them the green worm bin.
Good morning, people. Pawpaw Sammy and Alley Bug. I did a quick video the other day on this thing, and it was given to me by a lady who had set it up, and it stank so bad, it just almost, she couldn't go in the garage for days. I know nothing about this bin. I have no directions, no instructions, but I think I can make it work. Number one, let's address the odor. Odor is caused by overfeeding. And on YouTube, the videos I saw, at least the ones I saw, they would fill it up with table scraps. I mean, just bags of it. After about 3 or 4 days or a week, I don't care what they tell you, a pound of red wigglers under ideal conditions might eat a pound of food every 2 or 3 days. You don't overfeed. You feed when what they're eating is gone, you add to it. You don't just pile it in there. That's odor. Okay. Let's address the next thing. The castings that come out the bottom is wet and stink awful. They can't hardly get it out of the tray, it stinks so bad. Number one, they're putting too much water in there. What you do with red wigglers, you set your bed up, which I have already set it up just like I do my bins. You moisten the top. Just a little moisture, every day if you want to, on top. You don't want it to go all the way to the bottom and get soaked. If it soaks on the bottom, the worms are going to the moisture. They're not coming up and eating. And that's one reason you don't want to fill this thing up. You put about 6 or 8 inches in the bottom, put your your red regulars in there, let them start eating, let them sit there a week or so, add about a ½ inch or an inch of new bedding and a little more food, and do that like every 2 or 3 or 4 days. You watch it. As they eat, you add. It's going to take 6 or 8 months to fill this thing up. But when you get it filled up, you can go to the bottom and harvest your castings. And they should be dry, and they'll be tight, but they'll be dry. And when you rake them out, just a little moisture, and they should be in great shape. No odor, hopefully. But where I'm at now, I put the cardboard on the bottom. I put a little paper and coffee grounds and leaves and stuff on top of the cardboard. Dampen it very lightly. I emptied my bin in there with the worms. Okay? Once I got the worms in here, I come right back on top with this, a piece of cardboard. It don't even fit. I just dropped it in there, okay. One of the other problems with this thing is when you close the lid and the next day you open it up, it's full of worms and they're all sticky and gooey everywhere, and it stinks. You put the lid on this bin, come back the next day and you got the same problem. Don't put a lid on it. This cardboard in my bins lays right on top, that's it. Nothing else. They're not covered with anything else. And the cardboard don't even fit. It's just something for them to get up under and eat their little banana or apples or whatever, and they'll stay there. Now, this is an ongoing experiment, and I don't want to make no 5-hour video because we all get bored on that stuff. But to rephrase it, I put my shredded paper, my leaves, my grass in the bottom. I put my worms in there, sprinkle some shredded paper on top of it, put my cardboard on. Now, I'm not even going to moisten this. And the reason being, my bin was already correct. So this is correct. So now, no top. That top will never go on here. In fact, I might even take it off. But I'll come back in 2 or 3 or 4 weeks and see how much odor we got and see if I'm getting drippings in that bottom pan. If I'm getting water dripping in that bottom pan, this is too wet.
And the third type of bin you can do, guys, is a home bin. So obviously this bin right here is a very, very small, right? It has holes drilled for air all the way around. It's not very deep. That's plastic, sorry. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set this little bin up just like I set up that big bed, just like we set up the green worm bin.
So they wouldn't do a lot of eating. Look, I mean, I cannot believe the eggs. They ever were.
I told you, this bed, this type of setup.
Right there's 5 eggs in one spot.
I know, this setup is amazing. Now, Daddy, tell them about how amazing the eggs are.
Oh, they are. All right, let me show you this. When you see one that, like this right here, kind of light colored, it's a fresh egg. Now, when you find a red one, if I can find one,
or a brown husky one.
Yeah, when they start changing colors like that, they fixing to pop open. And each egg can have, usually 1 to 2 or 3. I've heard people say you can get 20 worms out of one egg, but I find that a little hard to believe. But other than that, this is a home bin. The eggs I'm bringing out of here, I'm kind of sprinkling them. If you get the conditions right, this will go ahead and hatch it. It's basically a nursery, trying to increase your worms. Because if this bin hadn't been ran today, or in the very near future, it would have started regressing. And the reason being, the worms start getting crowded, and they just shut down. They quit breeding, but boy, they've been doing a job. I cannot believe the eggs in this bin.
Also, Daddy, I heard that any animal that sits in its own manure too long will become sick.
That's right.
And these castings are technically manure. Okay, so I just wanted to make sure. Now, guys, something else you can do is take a handful of castings from the bin to the new bin to make sure that you're going to get your bacteria, fungi, and everything in this bin to help the worms begin to break it down.
Now, also, she said worm manure, but I want to show you something. There's no odor. That is green. That is pure earth. No odor whatsoever.
None at all.
Good Lord, look at the eggs.
I know.
Look at 'em.
It's unreal. I've never had a bed produce this many eggs, you guys. It's all about what you're putting down in the bottom of your bin. Don't make it complicated, guys. Mimic nature. What does nature have in it? It has leaves. It has pine straw. It has wood chips. And so that's where the cardboard comes in. And remember, red wigglers are not deep dwelling earthworms.
Not
you
earthworms.
can't put them in a bin 12 foot deep and expect them to do well. I find the shallower beds just do better.
That's normal.
Put some adults in here.
They're not going to go over 6 to 8 inches deep, and that's got to be in compost.
That's right. That's right, Daddy. You got to know what you're dealing with. That's a problem we find with most people getting into worms. You don't understand what the worm actually is meant to do. You don't understand the process or the type of worm that you have. Therefore, you don't give it everything it needs to be successful. So this bin right here will be taken back into my house because it is winter. And the temperatures, Daddy, should stay between the best is 60 to 90,
That's
right?
Yeah, an average, yes.
Yes, so these will go back in my house, and what will happen is in about 3 months, this bin will be full of worms. From this little bit we just put in here, worms and eggs.
But breeding,
Yep,
you got to give them room.
you got
Feed them
to.
and give them room.
Amen. Well, let's finish up.
I cannot believe the eggs.
You see all the eggs, you
I've
guys?
been covering them up. Look, see they all down in here? Samantha, I must have put 200 eggs in there.
Ooh, praise God, I need those eggs. So we're finished, you guys, running castings. This is the bed reset. Now the food on top I sprinkled, Daddy. Would you like to explain that to them?
That can be bought at Walmart. It's a husk of rice.
Rice bran, basically.
Yeah, rice bran, either wheat bran. I'm not sure. I forgot the exact. But Walmart sells it for deer feed. You can buy it by the 50-pound bags. It's very economical, and it's ideal for these worm beds because it's already broke down.
So it's a feed supplement.
Yeah, it's a feed supplement, and it works wonders.
As your bed is starting to break down, understand this, your red wigglers aren't eating the leaves. They're eating the bacteria that's eating the leaves. So you can supplement them like this and it will help them grow faster. How many pounds did we pull out of here, Daddy?
I think it's 20, 25. I still got a bunch in there.
Oh yeah, this bed did really well. This is how you make money. And just in case you guys are wondering, we sell wholesale worm castings, 25 pounds for $60. You get them freshly run with eggs, because we're gonna miss eggs and we're gonna miss worms. So you literally could start a new bin with the worm castings you get from Pawpaw Sammy.
You could buy just worm castings, put them in your tote, and temperature control place, whatever. And I guarantee you in 6 months you'll have a full worm bin.
That's right.
Just
Thank you
off the
guys
eggs.
for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Share this video to anybody that's, getting into worm forming.